faith and carefreeness. And I think actually this is the last value for, we were supposed to do it in May. For some reasons we are doing it in April. And we have none other than our very respected and very senior dear Dr. Nirmala Didi joining all the way from Gyan Sarovar. Actually, I'm sure many of you know her very well, but let me just say a few things about her in the form of a poem as well. And just to let you know that recently she has also been appointed as the joint administrative head of the Brahma Kumaris, and she has already been serving as a director of the Gyan Sarovar Academy for a Better World, which is one of the biggest campuses in the mountain area of Mount Abu. And also all of you know that she has been serving as the coordinator for the entire region of Australia and Asia. We call it Australasia. So I would not be telling anything much about the academic achievements of Didi Nirmala, but I would just want to say a few lines in the form of a poem. If you all remember that in the spiritual versions which we listen to daily at Brahma Kumaris, Didi's name features very often. So being a double doctor, Didi's intellect is full of clarity. And her name Nirmala indeed suggests she's an embodiment of purity. Being in her company, we all have experienced that serenity, which indeed takes us beyond into the zone of infinity. I'm sure you'll experience that today. And help us strengthen our connection with the Almighty, because she, through her talks, exudes the quality of sobriety. And as you can see, royalty is filled indeed in her personality, which gives all of us the fragrance of divinity. And a few lines today on the value or virtue of strength. Today, Didi shall enlighten us on how to be strong. And let's dissect our life with divinity as our prong. You know, we dissect with prongs so that we can lead a life contented for the entire life long and harmonize with each other as we move along, staying away from the vicious pricks of Maya's thorn, and merrily dancing and singing the beautiful song as we move on. So as all of you know, we have this interpretations. You can click and select the languages. Almost 7 to 8 languages are there. And as usual, Didi will be first taking the talk for around, say, 10 to 15 minutes. After that, Didi likes it to do the question and answer style. So I'll be asking a few questions. In the meantime, please feel free to put in your questions into the chat box and directly you can send it to me. And before that, let me just invite Sister Claudia all the way from Vancouver to please welcome Dr. Nirmala Didi with us. Over to you.
Om Shanti. Good morning from Vancouver. Good evening to you, Didi Nirmala, and then good afternoon to many of you. So I was just thinking, Mother's Day is coming, and you are like a mother. So as a mother, you are going to give us strength how to live the life. So I like to offer you some flowers, like you are the mother. So I like to offer you some very nice rose as proof of our love for you. Thank you, Didi, for being with us today.
Thank you, Gloria.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Sister Claudia. Yeah.
So today we are talking about strength. And I would say there are variety of strength. The strength due to spiritual knowledge, strength due to yoga, physical strength, the strength because of authority or power, whether it is a political power or position in a company, manager, director, CEO, etc. And that is the strength of our intellect. Spiritual knowledge teaches us about who am I, who is Supreme Soul, the world as unlimited drama where we are all actors, variety actors. And when we know drama, we accept the variety and don't question why is he like this, why he is like that, etc. And drama, when we are watching, we are busy watching the present scene, past scene. We let it pass. If that past scene is full of sorrow, we have sorrow for a moment, but then we are busy with the next scene. Also, we learn about karma, that whatever action I do, I get reaction similarly. And so I have to see that I should not give sorrow to anyone. As much as possible, through thoughts, words, and action, I give happiness to everybody. Because if I give sorrow, I'll get sorrow. If I give happiness, I'll get happiness. And also, I can get blessings from those souls who I am giving happiness. The power of meditation, because as we connect with Supreme Being, who is Almighty Authority, we receive all the powers. And hence we are able to control or guide our mind, intellect, and sense organs. We become peaceful, blissful, cheerful, merciful, stable, and unshakable. Because nowadays situation may be horrible, but if I look at it as a scene of drama and remain observer, then I am able to remain unshakable. There will be obstacles in our life, health problem, wealth problem, relationship problems, etc. We are able to face them with courage and fearlessness. We can imbibe all virtues and we can become completely viceless. For physical strength, the boxers and weightlifters, etc., what they do is lots of exercise, eat lot of proteins, and sometimes they use some medicine so that they become strong. Those who are in a position, they have power. because they can control their staff and they can have sensible approach. Those who are intelligent people, then they also have that strength. They are professional. They approach to situation logically, discuss and convince one's views and vision. And some countries, they have physical strength because they got weapons. And in the war, they are able to use those weapons and win the war. So we have to see where we want to focus our time and energy to be more strong. Personally, nationally, physically, or through spiritual knowledge and meditation. So one has to decide and one has to give time and energy for developing that strength. Om Shanti.
So thank you so much, Didi, for this very sweet and short deliberation. I hope my voice is now fully clear because I've increased the volume. You can hear me, Didi, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, thank you. So one question we always have in our mind, we have taken a value of power in the past. So is there a difference between power and strength?
Usually we use strength for physical strength and power for mind. But
Okay.
it's more or less similar.
So fantastic. That sets the tone for my next question because I leave it to the Almighty. The questions just flow. So the next question is the power of mind, because many people ask us that at Brahma Kumaris you all do something called Mansa Seva, that is serving through the power of the mind to good vibrations. So do you want to explain us how to use this mind power and increase the mind strength?
In order to increase the mind strength, we have to communicate and receive power from Almighty, the Supreme Being. And for Brahma Kumaris, we have the aim to practice meditation first thing in the morning, Amrit Vela we call it, from 4 o'clock to 4:45. Some people may start at 3:30 to 5 also. And that is the best time to increase our mental power. And what we are practicing is open-eyed meditation. So we can keep our eyes open, do our routine jobs, and still meditate. Especially when the job is not so much intellectual, like cooking, cleaning, washing, etc., gardening. So we can be doing that job, physical, and meditate also. So throughout the day, our aim is whenever we have free time, we meditate and then spread that vibration of peace, happiness in the atmosphere. Because nowadays, everybody needs peace, love, happiness, etc. And sometimes they are not able to receive love from their family, parents, partner, etc. So people really need love. They need peace of mind. They need to be happy because usually they think if I have money and I have got all modern gadgets, I'll be happy. But money cannot make anybody permanently happy. One has to have inner happiness. And through meditation, not only I can gain for myself, but I can spread that vibration. You must have experience. If you see some cheerful person, you also become cheerful. If you meet somebody who is crying and sobbing, naturally you may also feel sympathetic. And sometimes we cry seeing other people crying. So the thing is, the aim is, I need to have so much strength that I'm able to give that vibration of peace, happiness, love, cheerfulness, etc. to others. And that can be done through our vibration and our inner good wishes. We can help other people.
Right, great. So I'm sure all of you have understood that if you want to serve through your mind needs to be very strong first. And Didi beautifully explained us how to make your mind strong. And when we speak, Didi, the next question is about when we speak of strength, the next word which comes is weakness, because weakness and strength are like closely related to each other. So when someone is asked a question that men don't cry because they don't want to show that they are weak in comparison to women who just cry out and display their feelings. So is it good to keep crying? Do you feel that crying is a good sign, or does it make you lose your strength and energy? Or does it show that you are very strong?
Mainly, those who are weak, naturally, they will say, oh, what can I do? This is the situation, and they are always complaining. Whereas strong ones will say, yes, I can do it, and it will be done. Now, crying to express your suffering. On one hand, psychologists will say it's good because you are expressing out. If you are not expressing, it will have effect on your body, pain here and there, depending on what you are suffering. Now, the power of knowledge helps us. Knowledge, spiritual knowledge, and yoga, meditation will help us to not take sorrow from situation, because we understand whatever karma I have done in the past, I'm getting sorrow as a result of my past karma, which I have given sorrow to somebody else. So if I don't take sorrow, I don't need to cry. I don't need to be weak. So the thing is, if you don't have strength to be happy, and if you are suffering, then naturally it's good to cry.
Okay, thank you, Didi. And speaking of emotions, the next question is, nowadays a lot is spoken about these two things. So I want you to explain us these two concepts. First is EQ and second is SQ. So emotional quotient and spiritual quotient. So do you want to highlight and explain the audience these two quotients?
Emotional quotient, EQ, is okay. Positive emotions, if we have, it's very good, because you need to love. You don't need to hate anybody. You need to be peaceful. So all these positive emotions are good. Now, SQ is that because you are spiritual, you are able to maintain balance between positive and negative emotions. For example, we need to be loving, but we need to be detached also, because sometimes the margin between love and attachment is very narrow. If you are soul conscious, you are loving. If you are body conscious, you are attached. And if you are attached to anything, you will suffer. So we have to go beyond physical suffering. And so this spiritual quotient is very essential, and it helps us to be stable and unshakable, because situations are getting worse day by day. And until we have that spiritual power, we will not be able to remain stable.
Great. So I'm just amazed, like whatever you say, a question just follows on that. So I'm taking a question from the chat box. It's related to the spiritual power or spiritual strength. So a person is asking, how do I use spiritual power to overcome loneliness on this life journey? And she's saying, is spiritual life supposed to be lonely? No friends, no family, no enjoyment, just doing meditation all the time?
Not at all, because Brahma Kumaris talk about staying in a family, being loving but detached. So we don't need to be alone. We can be entertaining as well as serious, balance. And what we do is All Brahma Kumaris consider themselves as an unlimited family. We talk about universal brotherhood, and that's what we feel, that we are all brothers and sisters. We meet each other every day. We share our things with each other. And secondly, with the Supreme, we say Supreme is our brother, father, friend, teacher, Satguru, beloved, and child. We can have all relationship or any relationship. And when we have such nice relationship with Almighty, we are never alone. We can be friendly with that Almighty. So we need to learn to be with Almighty all the time. And we find we never feel alone or lonely.
Great. You told us about twice about loving and detached. So another soul is asking that Didi, please give me a solution because I am attached to my children. How can I not be attached to my children? So Didi, can you just give us a few tips on how to be loving but detached?
Yeah. Main thing is, if you consider my children, you are taking sorrow when they are suffering. But if you are just loving, you will care for the children. You will be responsible for your children. You will feed them, educate them. But consider them as supreme beings, children. And you become trusted. Just as now, as we doctors, what we do is treat patient with love. But if patient dies, we don't sit crying and mourning and not eating for days or not sleeping for many nights, etc. We carry on our activities as usual. As soon as duty is over, the nurses and doctors will say goodbye and go away without taking sorrow. But parents, because they are attached, they find it difficult to remain happy or peaceful during children's suffering. Even separation will cause sorrow. I know many parents from India will send their children to America or London or somewhere for further study. But when children are going at the airport, you will see them shedding tears. And one mother was saying, "Oh, my son used to love jalebi. Now my son is over in America. Who will feed him jalebi? So I also don't feel like eating jalebi." So that's how we find that when there is attachment, there is so much sorrow. So once you change your consciousness from being mine to belonging to Supreme, you will not have that attachment.
Right, great. So now we'll take a few quotes and few concepts on strength, a few quotes said by famous people. So I think this applies to you also, Didi, very well. Our very old late president, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, a very scientific and a spiritual person, he says that climbing to the top demands strength, whether it is the top of Mount Everest or the top of your career. So I think, Didi, I would want you to speak about your spiritual career, not about your medical profession, that you also have reached to the heights, to the top level in the organization. So that demands strength, according to APJ Abdul Kalam. So do you want to tell us your life examples of how strength has helped you reach the top?
Main thing I would say, as a child, I was very protected in 1940s, 50s. I would never go alone anywhere. I remember even when I went to have interview for my medical entrance, my uncle was accompanying me. Whereas after receiving this spiritual knowledge, I have traveled alone in many countries where there has been not a single friend, relative, or Brahma Kumaris, Kumaras. So I got that courage and help from Almighty that I could tour so much. And many times I was alone in the center. And you know, in India, we have usually within few months of starting center, we have many students and they will help in everything. We have servants to clean the house, wash the clothes. We have Brahmins, BK students who will go around and do shopping for the center. So I never had to go out alone or do anything. But in the West, when I went, I had to do everything alone, cooking, cleaning, shopping, teaching, conversation, answering phones, answering emails, posts, etc. So the thing is, rather than relying on human beings who have limited time, money, energy, when we rely on Almighty, we find that the Supreme Being helps us a lot and gives protection and courage. Mainly, I found that meditation gave me so much courage. Luckily, I was detached from beginning, but after taking this spiritual knowledge, I had balance of love and detachment, balance of love and love, sweet and spiritual, strict. So that's what I found, that with real love to help people, because I took medicine to help people physically. But then after studying spiritual knowledge, I said I had to become double doctor, helping mind, spirit, and body. So for a few years, I've kept on doing my medical practice. But when I went overseas, I had to just focus on spiritual teaching because my medical degree was not acceptable by UK or Australia or anywhere.
Good, Didi pointed out the next spiritual concept which I was supposed to take, but Didi's already covered. We say one strength and one support. So you've already covered that, Didi. In Hindi, we say ek bal and ek bharosa, which means my only support in life is the Almighty, and He will do something or the other. He will send someone in my life to help me support in whatever I need. So, Didi, another question a gentleman is asking that Didi is nearing 90. She's so strong, and what is the secret of her remaining young till 90?
I'm 87. But main thing is from childhood, my father was very health conscious. He would not allow children to have tea, coffee, only milk. He will not allow us to cook rice and take out the water from it. Or he will not allow us to peel many vegetables which can be cooked with the peel, or fruits also, because in those days there were not so many chemicals used for fruits or vegetables. So he was very conscious about it, and he brought us up with that diet and cleanliness and all the concepts. Secondly, being doctor, naturally, I look after myself about my diet, my exercise, my sleep, and as soon as I develop some sickness, I go and take treatment. So the thing is, that has helped me to keep healthy until now.
Right. And obviously, I think, do you also want to say your mind is strong because of the meditation which you have been doing since so many years?
Definitely, mind and body. Because of meditation, I'm not tense or stressed, etc. Responsibility is there. I always feel I'm instrument, the one who has established this organization is the main one who is responsible. So I'm not responsible to carry on responsibility, but being instrument.
So good, you touched upon this consciousness of being an instrument, which really makes you light despite having so much of responsibilities. Fantastic. So we'll move on to the next concept of strength, another quote by another famous person. It is said that strength is not only power, but also self-control. So do you want to tell us how do we develop self-control?
Main thing is meditation, because otherwise the one which is most mischievous is mind and eyes. Mind is, we had given freedom all the time, think whatever you like. feel whatever you want. But now with knowledge and meditation, we know that I have to perform only good action. I should have only positive emotion and positive thoughts. I should not waste my thought energy, because my thought energy is also very valuable. So we have learned to control mind and sense organs. So that double strength helps us to be stable and not affected by environment or people around us.
Okay, thank you, Didi. The next question is, since we are speaking so much about meditation, so a brother is saying that God gives, I mean, not God gives, the saying is like, God give me strength to bear my losses. So how does God give us strength? The brother is asking. Is it through prayer or meditation? What should we be practicing?
Meditation will give us strength, but knowledge also gives us strength. Because if I lose something, it means it was not in my fortune, or it was my karma that somebody has snatched away what belonged to me. And I must have done wrong to that person so that I'm getting the return of it. So that's how this understanding helps me to remain strong and positive, that whatever is happening, there is benefit in it. I am clearing karma, or I was not supposed to have it. There is benefit. So we have one saying, past was good, present is good, future will be better. And we don't worry about future, because whatever is going to happen is going to happen. I must make effort, but I should not worry about it.
Okay, so the question also was about, can I develop my inner strength by prayer? If I don't meditate, is that okay? Just prayer?
Prayer.
Yeah.
The thing is, difference between prayer and meditation is both we are trying to remember Supreme Being. But problem with prayer is you don't know who is Supreme. So your connection is not with powerhouse. You are getting little strength from the deities you are worshipping. Because usually prayers are for deities or gurus, something like that. Whereas Supreme Being, meditation with Supreme Being or Almighty Authority will bring many power. So that's what I would say. Meditation is better in the sense it is based on knowledge, spiritual knowledge.
Okay, great. So since you touched upon uh, the Indian aspect of devotion, the question which comes is when it comes to strength, in Indian mythology, all of us know in India particularly, who is shown as this symbol of strength, Mahavir Hanuman. We say Mahavir is strong and Hanuman. So the English translation is monkey god. So someone is asking, like, are monkeys stronger than humans? Why is it is shown as monkey god? Or even Ganpati or Ganesh is shown as elephant god, an elephant head. Is this something symbolic or there are really such people like that?
Symbolic, but there have been some people with such strength because Mahavir is shown to have deep love for God Ram. And because of that love, he could fly and bring life-giving herb and make Lakshman, who was unconscious, to consciousness. The same thing, those people who are giving new life to others through spiritual knowledge, because sometimes we say, oh, he's like a walking dead person. So some people are moving around, but they don't have strength. So with spiritual knowledge and yoga, we can give them new life. So it can be symbol of those who have such great strength, not monkeys, but people who had monkey intellect. Monkeys are shown to have many vices, ego, even to lion, they will say, ooh, and they are jumping from one tree to another, and they know that lion is not going to come on the tree, so they can show their ego or anger. And monkeys are said to be having lots of attachment. Even if the child, the mother will keep on holding the child and running around with the child. So the thing is, human beings with monkey intellect are made strong like deities. And Ganesh is the symbol of destroyer of obstacle and child of Lord Shiva. So the thing is, those children of Shiva who are mature, sensible, knowledgeful, are able to destroy obstacles. And Ganesh is also shown to have Vedas or scriptures in his hand. So Ganesh is knowledgeful, just as Shiva is knowledgeful. So these are symbol, but have real spiritual significance, and they are living being at this time.
Fantastic. Spiritual significance in detail. But another question on top of that is, since we are speaking about Indian mythology, and you mentioned that Lakshman was unconscious, and he wanted to get Hanuman wanted to go and fetch the Sanjeevani herb from the mountain. But someone is asking, that why was Hanuman not so intelligent enough to know which herb he has to carry from the forest? Why did he just go and catch the entire mountain and he got it down? So does it mean that beauty and brains don't go hand in hand? I mean to say physical strength and knowledge don't go hand in hand. Do you feel, how do we answer this question?
The thing is, spiritual knowledge and duty go hand in hand. But the thing is, sometimes we don't know what other person needs. And sometimes even he doesn't know what he needs in his life. Says happiness. But what sort of happiness? And what sort of a peace? Because nowadays people wander around here and there. They go for their happiness to parties and picnics and dances and music and swimming and all sorts of different means. So temporary happiness, they get it, but not permanent. Whereas spirituality gives permanent happiness. So the thing is, we have to go around and find out what person really needs before giving them spiritual knowledge. We have to ask few questions and we had to explain from where they will get peace and happiness, what's the source, and people will have to make effort to receive uh, or practically implement teachings, because spirituality will teach you you are a soul. But to be soul conscious, we take time. We say remember Supreme, but to keep linked with Supreme may take time. Okay.
So, yeah, that's really a beautiful answer. I'm sure the person is satisfied. The next question is about, since we covered in the start about Mansa Seva, that is serving through a strong mind. So they are asking us the exact accurate method of doing Mansa Seva, because many times many souls teach us different methods. So they are saying that should we immerse the soul in the conscious layer of mind while doing Mansa Seva? Is it not risky, because am I creating an account with that soul by emerging that person in my conscious mind? Because at that point of time, I'm remembering the soul, not the supreme soul. So what is the exact way of doing Mansa Seva for a soul who is in pain or in suffering?
Main thing is to start with, I will tell Supreme Being that this donation of yoga is for this person who is suffering. Now, just in the beginning, I tell God, you have to help. I remember you, but it is you who has to help. So I am meditating on Supreme Being and give the power I gain or vibration I gain to that suffering person. So I'm not remembering that person all the time, just to start with. I will remember that person.
It's fantastic. We needed this answer from a senior like you because sometimes people just sit and meditate the entire time thinking of that person, which is not really right because then, for example, if the person is not able to come out of the illness and maybe the person leaves the body, then they feel, oh, was my Mansa Seva not strong enough? So, I mean, we should not be thinking and just ask Baba to do the rest. So that's great. I'm sorry, I think my internet may be a bit unstable. I hope I'm audible. Right. So the next question is about the flight or fight response. I'm sure all of us know this. It's a sympathetic nervous system in medicine, which we study. So that when any difficult situation comes in front of you, you either fight with it or you flight, which means you just flee from there. So this response depends on one's inner strength. So can Didi tell us which one to use when? When do I fight in my spiritual life actually? When do I fight with people and when do I just flight, go away from them?
If I'm strong enough, I should keep on fighting. But if I'm weak, suppose people are getting angry, and by seeing them getting angry or fighting, if I get upset, I had to leave that situation. But if I can stand there and give them the vibration of peace, I should sit there. And the strong ones will fight until they are victorious. Because just as in an army, the soldiers, when they go to fight, they have determination. I will win or I will die. So they are prepared to die, but they are aiming to win. So our aim should be also to fight and win and not run away from the situation.
Okay, great. So in this, we need the power to face. And as you rightly said, do or die. Okay, next interesting, yeah, before I go with the questions, so we have almost finished almost Didi 50-55 minutes. So can we go on till 9:15 because that's our usual time? Is that okay with you? That's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
okay,
me,
thank
it's
you.
fine.
Next question, yeah, okay, thanks a lot. So the next question is an interesting one again, that in the face of a lot of criticism from people, lot of rivalry, competition, slander, lot of ill will coming from the other side, how do I still maintain my inner strength?
I should not give up hand of Almighty. I should keep on remembering Almighty and have that positive thought. Victory is my birthright. Success is my birthright. So keep on fighting. And I will get strength by remembrance or meditation.
Great. So the next question is about the red light, which we do it in all the BK centers during meditation. We do the red light. So the question is, why do you all do red light? Is it something related to power or strength? And why is the color of strength or power red? Do you want to explain that? Why red?
Our aim is to remember Supreme Soul in land of Nirvana or Paramdham or Brahmalok, because Brahmalok or Paramdham or Supreme Abode is red light. So just to take my mind to the soul world, we keep the red light. It's not power of strength, but just reminding us of our home of peace.
So is it really a physical red light, or we are just imagining it is red?
Usually in our meditation hall, we have red light. Or we have symbol of Supreme Being as a point of light, which is red light.
Sure. Okay. I'll just take a few real life. We've finished the concepts and a lot of quotes on strength. I'll take a few real life examples. One of the questions coming in the chat is a slightly lengthy question. I'll read the question for you. My uncle was an ex-army man, physically very strong. As we have been discussing, strength is more about being physically strong. But when his younger grandson got COVID, and he passed away, that younger kid, around I think 5-6 years, the army man could not bear the loss. He was a grandfather, and he suffered a heart attack instantaneously, and he passed away too. He left the body. So the question the brother is asking, that why was he not emotionally strong, though he was physically strong? Why was he not emotionally strong to withstand the situation, though he was an ex-army personnel? So I think the answer is there in the question itself, but yeah, you could.
Physical strength is different from emotional strength. And as I was saying, when there is attachment, there is so much sorrow on losing that dear one. And your grandfather must be so much attached to the grandson that he could not bear his death. It's simple as that, because army people can kill other people, but when they see their own people dying, they may not have enough strength to tolerate that.
And I remember you had taken for us the value on tolerance. Beautiful sharings from your side. So thank you. So I think we need to develop, though we are strong outside physically, going to gym and etc. I think it's emotional strength which is important. So coming to another very practical question from a brother in the chat box again, that during meditation, is it just merely imagination, or is it true that God really exists in the soul world? And who decided this?
The thing is, to start with, you will have to imagine or accept what others who have experienced. Because spirituality is something you have to experience. It's not something that you can just understand logically. So, just as we say that nose is like this, we can't ask why nose is like this. It is like that. So God really exists, but one has to experience it. And once you experience it, you don't need to imagine. You experience God's power through meditation. That is love, peace, happiness, mercy, protection, etc. And once you have that experience, your faith will be firm.
The brother has immediately wrote another question. I think in the interest of all the people who are new to meditation, I think we should take this. It's a very practical question. He's really feeling very guilty and apologetic that what is it I am doing wrong? I sit daily for 2 hours, but I cannot get that experience of all those what you all get. So what is wrong with me? Is there something wrong?
Main thing, have you done the course? Because if you do the course, you will understand who are you, who is Almighty, and where you are connecting, why you are connecting. And once you understand and establish relationship, you will find that you are getting so much strength as well as whichever power you want. Love, peace, happiness, mercy, protection, liberation. God gives all of those things. So, because meditation are also many different types. I don't know which type of meditation you are doing. But if you go to any of the Brahma Kumaris center nearby, you will be able to understand. First, you have to understand theoretically, then practically you have to experience, to believe what Brahma Kumaris are saying or experiencing.
Great, thank you. So I'm sure the brother has got the answer. So I'll move on to another very intriguing question again asked, that in the Brahma Kumaris centers when we go, there are a lot of pictures seen of the golden age. So the brother is asking, how can a lion who is much more stronger than a goat or deer
Oh,
be so subservient to other animals? Like the bank of the river, the lion also is drinking water along with the goat or the cow, all those weaker animals who are supposed to be. Please explain this confusion.
golden age. There is no violence, no animosity. So even the animals, not only people, are non-violent and loving, but even the animals are loving and non-violent. And that's why it is shown that lion and goat are drinking water at the same bank of river just nearby. So that is the state of golden age we have known through knowledge, meditation, and visions, because there are some sisters who go in trance and they have seen golden age and they have described golden age where everybody is so loving, kind, compassionate, and non-violent. That this vision they have drawn in these pictures in our centers.
Okay, great. We have 5 more minutes, so I'll just take 2 more questions. One question is again about another value. We haven't covered it so far, but we'll be doing that soon. Resilience. So the question is, does strength and resilience go hand in hand? Because it is shown that when there is a storm, the mighty trees get uprooted, whereas the green grass, the tender, tiny green grass, which remain flexible and resilient, they don't get uprooted. So what should I do to develop both these values, strength and resilience?
If you do meditation, you will have that balance of strength as well as resilience. Because meditation will help us to be flexible or resilient. And because we have to know where we have to stand strong or where we have to be flexible and resilient. So, knowledge and meditation. If my intellect and judgment power are clear, then I will know where to be flexible or where to be strong.
Okay, so the last question, everyone will be wanting to know your stories. I'll tell you what stories we want to hear from you now. So you have spent a lot of time with the founder father, Brahma Baba, whom we call lovingly Brahma Baba, and even more with, I think, Mama, the founder mother, as who we call her. So you came into knowledge, you said 1964, around 62, 63 that time. So, and we know that the founder mother, whom we say Mama very affectionately, she was an embodiment of strength. So do you want to tell us some examples either from your life or from the brothers and sisters at that point of time, whereby these such great souls showed so much of inner strength in dealing with over there, because all of us have a lot of weaknesses. So how they were able to deal with them with so much of strength?
Sicknesses you are talking about?
Yes, Didi, weaknesses of the various brothers and sisters, which Mama, the founder mother, was able to take care with a lot of inner strength.
Weaknesses or sickness?
No, I'm sorry. I think the internet was unstable. It's weakness. Weakness, yeah.
Main thing is Brahma Baba and Mama always wanted to empower others. If they saw their weaknesses, they had good wishes and explained them how to be or what to be in different situations. Because no doubt everybody has been progressing from weakness to strength, and everybody has sometimes conflict with others or jealousy, hatred, etc., negative emotions. So Mama or Brahma Baba, what they used to do is sit with them, give them yoga power, meditating, giving drishti, and empowering them, as well as tell them what to think, what to speak, what to do in different situations, rather than doing wrong. What right they should be doing, they used to teach. And it was very effective because there was that love and sweetness and good wishes from them. So everybody used to listen to them and follow their direction.
Wow, fantastic, Didi. Immense gratitude first from my side for bearing with our questions for 1 hour and 15 minutes. So immensely thankful to you for that. And now I would like to invite your contemporary from the medical school time. I'm sure you know who I'm speaking about. So Dr. Ashok Mehta, I would want to request two things to him. We want a little bit of spiritual chit-chat between you and Didi. We want that from you, Dr. Mehta. And obviously, you will be doing the vote of thanks, because we never get these moments where both of you are on the same podium and interacting with each other. So we want a little bit of spiritual chit chat. Time is not an issue today. Over to both.
Okay. It's such a pleasure to meet Nirmala Ben at a long distance on the Zoom. We spent 1955 to 1960 together in the medical school. At that time, I remember Nirmala Ben as a very, very simple person. And her simplicity and her authenticity, you could see the peace in her everything. Yeah? Though we were in the teenage at that time also she carried herself with so much of grace and peacefulness and simplicity. I think she had those inherent qualities of a Baba's special child. But what happened afterwards was, after 1960, I never met Nirmala Ben for a long time, and I never knew where she was, except sometimes people would say that probably she has become a sannyasin. But there was nothing much known about her till I met her back in 1990 after many years in the Villa Parle Center. And of course, then I came to know about her services overseas, and as a Baba special child traveling to all the continents and doing an immense service. I want to ask Nirmala Ben that why did he not call some of us to take Baba's message at that point?
Why I didn't give message to all of you?
Yeah, well, the message at least you should have gone to the people who were working with you at that point of time.
Somehow, being in Kandivali, my old friends were here and there and everywhere. So it was very difficult to meet everybody. And I never kept in touch with any of the friends, neither school friends nor university friends, except Usha. And there was Sister Rajni who was with me in the class. I think we were together, no, Rajni?
Yeah, she was a Rajni Lele, that's correct.
No. Rajni Trivedi. She was with me. So we were friendly. But when I gave her gyan or knowledge, she didn't like it. And so I stopped friendship and I didn't even talk to her much or going here and there. Because I was in Kandivali, nobody used to come to Kandivali. I had to go and see them in Mumbai. So that's why somehow.
It's very interesting that in 1988, when Dati Gulzar came for surgery in Mumbai, till then I had never seen a Brahma Kumar earlier. And it was amazing that so many years, such a vast service was going on. Even Villeparle had a center, we had in the own locality where we lived. But somehow or the other, at that point of time, I think probably communication was not so good as it's now. The cell phones and internet and television. So I think we missed out at that point of time. But I wish that we had met earlier and we had taken the gyan from you and probably enjoyed our interaction with the peaceful sisters.
It was not in drama.
But the drama is fixed. So we know the drama is fixed. It's very interesting. In 1956, I lived for 15 days in Mount Abu because I had a pneumonitis. And I was advised to, nothing is just to be in a dry climate. So we went to Abu. But even that time, we didn't come across the BK sisters. Of course, those were, at that point of time, I don't know whether we were also receptive. Suppose if we had met also, whether we would have received the Gyan so easily as it happened later on in life. So I think it's very interesting. But we were very, very fortunate to meet again after 30 years and pick up the threads of, through the knowledge. But one thing was certain, that I think Nirmala Ben had that tremendous qualities of being peaceful, quiet. She was a totally different medical student than what other students that one would expect to have. And even her simplicity was amazing. As I look backwards, I appreciate, I think, what she has achieved and what she has been able to give to society and to the Agya, especially to Baba. I think it has been a tremendous work to dedicate an entire life, almost now near 62 years that she has been in Gyan, or more than 60 years. It's a pleasure to talk to Nirmala Ben today. And I don't know what Nirmala Ben had a remembrance or memory of my days in a college.
I remember you were wearing khadi only.
Okay, great. I think, thank you so much, Dr. Mehta. But it was just a very brief, I know time is always the crunch, but I think, Nirmala Didi, Dr. Mehta is famous for having these spiritual chit-chats with all the senior BKs and also with Sister Shivani, we know. So I think in the future, sometime we can organize between both of you. I'm sure it will be really fun and amazing to listen to all the sharings from both of you. Thank you so much. And I would now request Anu's sister to do the announcements. Then we'll go into Drishti and meditation with Nirmala Didi. Over to you, Anu sister.
Thank you, Manoj brother. So before we go to meditation, taking Drishti from Didi, take my opportunity to once again thank you, Didi Nirmala. I know Didi has great memory, sharp memory. So when I heard that question, if she remembers Dr. Mehta, I knew she knows. And Didi, it's always such a power and pleasure to meet you in person or on Zoom. You are always with us. Thank you very much for today. You have filled us with your wisdom and really the true understanding of spiritual strength. We'll take it with us. And I'll just take a minute to quickly announce our upcoming programs. So the next session is Values Workshop on Strength, as we continue our journey to deepen this spiritual understanding of strength more. So we will have experiential reflective exercises on strength and again, insightful talk and meditation by Sister Mara Bones. She's the National Coordinator of Brahma Kumaris in Portugal, and she would be first time with us. So join us for this workshop that's happening on 7th of May, Saturday. Regular time, that's 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. India time. That is 7 to 9 a.m. West Coast time. Portugal time, 3 to 5 p.m. Please join us then. And in the series of hours talks, we have Power to Accommodate. That's Samane Ki Shakti on Sunday, 8th of May. That's Mother's Day. So Power to Accommodate and Mother's Day, the power goes together. It's happening Sunday morning, 8 a.m. for West Coast time and evening, 8:30 p.m. for India. And we will have with us Sister Hansa, who is the Center Coordinator for Brahma Kumaris in Sacramento, USA. So please join us then. And our next session of Values for Life series is episode 39 on easiness, that is Saralta, for which we'll have our senior Didi Sudesh Didi, who is the European Director of Brahma Kumaris. And it's happening after 2 weeks, Saturday, 14th of May, 8 p.m. India time, 7:30 p.m. West Coast, US, Canada time. So please note, and you can get more information and joining info on our website. So please check us out on vihasa.in and vancouver.brahmakumaris.ca. and you can have all our videos, including today's video, on our YouTube channel, Vyasa India and Brahma Kumari's fan group. Thank you, everyone. Over to
So
you.
now we'll request, thank you, Sister Anu. We'll request Nirmala Didi to, Didi, would you want to do some commentary or just Drishti? Whatever you're comfortable.
Just Drishti.
Okay, fine. So Anu sister, you can play some soft music in the background. Thanks.
It's through your wounds that the light gets in. It's in the darkest room that the candle glows. It's at the bottom of the deepest well that the softest earth will break your fall. It's on the mountain that I learned the most. It's when I fell down that I knew my strength. It's not my mistakes tell you who I am, but what I do with them and who I will become. And I will rise like a poor child given a chance, and I will rise like the sun up through the clouds, and I will rise every time that I sing, and when I fall, I'll fall gracefully, 'cause when I fall, I am given wings. Though I am poisoned, though I'm dark and sad, though I am angry at pictures from my past, I am both loving, I am pure and light, I am shadow and mist, both the peace and the fight. It's through your tears that you'll see his face. It's through surrender that you'll ride the wave. And if the walls are built to block your path, just get up and find another way. And I will rise like a poor child given a chance, and I will rise like the sun up through the clouds, and I will rise every time that I sing, and when I fall, I'll fall gracefully, 'cause when I fall, I am given wings.
Thank you, Didi.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And just a quick request from one of the participants. He's saying, can Didi just spare a few minutes for a photo, virtual photo? So quickly, Anu sister, if you want to take a photo. It's just 2 pages, so you can quickly do it.
I'm
Is
taking.
that okay?
Yeah, everybody can open your videos. Thank you, Didi, so that we can have picture with. I got the picture. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you,
Thank
Didi.
you. Thanks a lot.